Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea Hurst and I am the instructional technology coach for a school district in rural Alaska. Welcome to my channel. If you guys don't already know, which I'm pretty sure that we are all very clear that we are in a global pandemic right now, and it has altered our work schedule greatly. So in this video, we are going to talk about some things that have really helped me in adjusting to that work from home life, or how some people have on Twitter have called it the quarantine teaching, which is really cute. So, first, we all know that this is really crazy times. We don't need people to constantly tell us that it's really crazy times to realize that our schedules have been altered greatly. There's so much unknown in our future, but I really can't help to see the silver lining in this situation. In education and in a lot of jobs in general, we feel like we're constantly running the rat race. Like, I know for me, I go to work all day and then I try to fit in going to the gym, cooking for my family, cleaning up after dinner, whatever it may be. And then if you have kids, that there's so much more stuff into the mix that you feel like you're kind of just living in a routine and kind of just running that rat race. Well, I feel like with the coronavirus and with this pandemic, it's a really great time for us to slow down and focus on some things that we might not have had the chance to do in our normal day-to-day schedule. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about some tips or some things that have really helped me in working at home. For working from home, there's two types of people, and I feel like that I've fallen in both of these categories at some point in time. The first is the hyper-focused person who wakes up, gets to work right away, super productive, but then the issue is you are productive until 9, 10 o'clock at night and you do not shut off. You are constantly working. And then there's the other type of person, which I've been on occasion as well, is where you maybe have moments of feeling really productive, but then you're maybe kind of walking around like twiddling your thumbs, being like, what should I do? What should I do next? Not really having a purpose or being sure what this work from home life looks like. So, some ways to combat that and kind of find the happy medium. First, it's really important for me to make a morning schedule or to have a morning routine. So normally when I go to work, I do have a 30-minute commute and I would wake up to get ready for the day, do my hair, do my makeup, all of those things before driving to my typical job. Well, my commute has changed because I am now going from maybe my bedroom to my office, which is significantly shorter, and maybe I only get my top half ready, or maybe I just hope that the filters on Zoom have me covered, just need to brush my teeth, wash my face. Whatever it may be, it's really important that you establish a morning routine. So I'm taking advantage of these times to kind of focus on myself and some things that I maybe don't do every morning because I'm trying to get that extra minute of sleep during my normal job. So I wake up the same time that I usually would as if I was driving to work to be there on time, but instead of getting ready in the traditional sense or driving to work, I've changed it up a little bit. So I start my day with a full glass of water, always making sure I'm getting a full glass of nice cold water first thing in the morning. And then I also go on YouTube and look up a yoga video. So something that I definitely struggle with is stretching and kind of keeping my joints nice and loose and all my muscles ready. So I have dedicated every morning just to stretch and focus on that and start my day. Then I also focus on a morning devotional and kind of just spending some time with myself before I go and start the day. I've realized that on the days that I do my morning routine, I feel a lot more refreshed. I feel a lot more prepared to tackle whatever comes at me at the rest of the day. Second thing that is also a part of my morning routine is to create a schedule. Now, with this pandemic, we have seen so many schedules on how to structure your day for your students, for yourself, or for your families if you have students at home. Now, I look at some of these schedules and I get completely overwhelmed. If I'm giving a time hack of having to do something from 9 to 10 a.m. or 11 to 12 or whatever the time frame might be, I feel like I find myself more focusing on, ooh, I only have 5 more minutes left, or ooh, 10 more minutes left, or ooh, how am I going to get it done? So schedules really do not work well for me. If they work well for you, awesome, use them, manage your time productively, but For me, I have found that I really benefit for creating daily to-do lists. So at the end of my morning routine every day, I start with a to-do list. And I put things on my to-do list, those big tasks that I need to accomplish for the day in order to be and feel productive and that I'm doing my job. Now, this is also really important for me because there's some days when I find that I'm just sitting all day more than I normally do, which isn't great for my body, which isn't great for my health. So I chunk my tasks. So in between every task, I make sure to do some sort of activity as a brain break. Just like your students need brain breaks, we need brain breaks as well. So for example, now that I'm home more, my dog is super happy. I let my dog outside more. So in between every task that I check off, that I finish, that I'm done with, I take my dog outside. So instead of just her traditional let her outside to go to the bathroom, I go with her. And maybe I walk to the end of the driveway and back, and that's a little bit of my exercise, a little bit of that sunshine that breaks up my day and feels me refreshed to complete that next task. So whatever it may be for you, make sure that you're taking brain breaks throughout the day. And if you use a schedule or if you use a task list, schedule them in between every big task or big work scheduled thing that you have. Thing to protect your sanity, and this is really important and something that I am still working on, is designating a workspace in your house. So I've found that I really like sitting on the couch and having my laptop and doing work, but then I find myself working while I'm on my free time or when I'm on my personal time or when I'm off the clock. And the fastest way to burn out is to consistently work and blur those lines between my workday and my personal time during my day. So for me, it's really important to set up a workspace. So find somewhere in your house, maybe somewhere that's not in a common area or somewhere that can be taken down, just so you can turn off, saying it is now work time, I am in here, I'm going to focus, and then my work time is now over, I'm going to put it away and focus on myself. Because the next tip or the next thing that I found really important for me is to turn off. So with teaching, with education, and with a lot of jobs, it always rings true that there's always going to be more to do. And then in this crazy quarantine time, pandemic time, there's always going to be parents contacting you, students contacting you at all hours wanting your help. Now, we are not all superhumans. We need a break. We need to protect our sanity. We need to fill up our cups so we are more productive and better prepared to serve our communities, our students, our teachers, our families. So it is so important that we set up a routine, set up a schedule, and schedule in time for us to turn off when the workday is over. There will always be something to do. That'll never change, but don't run yourself ragged. I know for me, when I turn off, I'm also trying to do things outside of being on the screen. So now that my screen time has increased drastically, I want to make sure that what I'm doing in my personal time may not involve my screen as much. So this has been a really great opportunity for me to schedule in some intentional quality time. So things that I may not have done in the past, I'm trying to focus on more. So for example, I'm taking my dog for walks more. My husband and I play tons of cards games now. Or maybe I bake, or maybe I do yoga, or I paint, or I just go sit outside. Maybe I read a book. Trying to find just intentional things to fill my time that's not being on my phone or on my computer, because I already spend all day doing that. It is not healthy. We need to fix that. Well, in this time, maybe we're finding that we do have a lot more free time just because of the nature of not having anywhere to go. We're stuck in our house. So I have a friend who is really big into personal goals, and she has really encouraged me to use this time to focus on some personal goals. It's just me in my house all day, so I have the time to take care of me or focus on me. So I'm going to do that. So I've set 3 personal goals for myself that are just going to help me become a better, healthier human being, and therefore better for everybody else. And hopefully once we go back to our normal schedule, some of these things will stick. Like for example, I am challenging myself to get 10,000 steps a day. So maybe this will be really easy while I'm in the classroom or in the school or at my traditional job, but working from home, this is a lot more difficult, and I need to plan for intentional time to get my steps in. So I've challenged myself with that to do that. Now that I have unlimited access to the bathroom and don't have to worry about when or how many times I use the bathroom. I'm trying to get in 150 ounces of water a day just to stay hydrated because I know that is good for me. And then the last thing I'm just trying to do is I'm a really big weightlifter. I love to go to the gym and lift weights, but those gyms are now closed. So I'm trying to exercise in a way that my body is not used to, or maybe my body struggles with, to become better at that weakness. So I am training for a run. Don't know what that run is going to be yet, and don't know if it'll exist because usually races are more than 10 people, and there's a health mandate saying more than 10 people can't gather, but whenever we are back online with those things, I'm going to be ready to run a race and be my best self. Silver lining for me in this pandemic is the ability to stay connected. So being a military spouse, I have now lived in 3 or 4 different states and have made really great friends along the way. But sometimes it's hard to keep up with those friends as you move just because of life, right? I don't know why in the past, but I really never used FaceTime. I'd kind of just predominantly either call or text message my friends or keep up with them on social media. But the amount of people I've seen getting together on Zoom or FaceTime as a group and staying connected in a social aspect, not just a work aspect, has been really amazing and has been something that I've incorporated in my life as well. So on the weekends, can't have a in-person game night, but I can have a digital game night and connect with my friends that maybe I haven't seen in a while and make it feel like they're there with me. So take this time to really stay connected. Reach out to people maybe you've lost contact with. Spend some more time contacting those people because we have the time and we have the technology, which is a really amazing tool that we can use not only to work, but to have fun because work hard, play hard. Both are important. Overall, this situation is tough. It could be a really trying time. It's really different. A lot of us are having to step out of our comfort zones. But it could be a really great experience to learn something new, become a better educator, focus on ourselves, and really focus on what's important. I know a lot of people say I can't wait for things to go back to normal, but I'm not excited for normal. I'm excited for the new normal, the things that we're going to learn during this period of time at home and transform our future work schedule to include those things that we've learned. Well, yes, I'm excited to leave my house. Yes, I'm excited to go see actual people in real life, but I'm also excited for the things that we're going to learn during this tough time. Some tips that you have learned from working from home, please feel free to drop them in the comments, subscribe to my channel, and be aware for future videos.